Warning, this episode contains mildly inebriated race fans, presenters with husky voices, a sweary Canadian, and lots of loud cars. This is Gareth Jones on Speed 342, continuing our coverage of the 2018 24 Hours of Le Mans. The sound of a party at Le Mans at the Carlsberg tent and outdoor bar. And as you know, we like to meet up with on-speed listeners in this location. It's been a bit tricky organising it because my phone died, so I wasn't able to update people. But I'm very glad that I've thrown a party and people have turned up. James.
How you doing, alright?
Where are you from, James?
Leicester.
And how was the journey over? What did you come in?
Yeah, it was amazing. I came in my friend Bob's Mercedes CL500.
Excellent choice, sir.
1,800 quid.
No, what year is it?
I'm not sure, it's an X-Reg.
And how many miles has it got on it?
151,000.
Just warmed up then?
Yeah, exactly. The dashboard lit up like a Christmas tree by the time we got to Warminster.
When did you buy it? This week?
No, I bought it like at Christmas time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's like sitting in the gentleman's club.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
leather seats are sumptuous.
Yes.
They don't work, the heated seats don't work, but they are sumptuous.
Power in reserve.
Plenty of power in reserve, especially when you're following a Fiat Coupe. It won't do more than 75 in it, in case it falls apart.
So do you know what your mileage on the way here, miles per gallon? We get about 15, 18?
24. No, we've gone up to 24.
You were doing 65 miles per hour.
exactly.
Yeah. Well done. I'm just checking. You didn't get stopped by the police for speeding at any point?
Well, no, we weren't speaking.
We were getting followed
Because
by
that's
a
an
Fiat.
achievement. Coming to Le Mans and getting a speeding ticket is something you do once.
Exactly.
How many times have you been?
This is my third time. Have you been before?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you listen to Gareth Jones on Speed?
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah.
Never missed it. I thought your name was Gaz Top.
I was at
Not
some,
anymore,
yeah.
not
I
anymore.
do
Sorry, we're not allowed to
occasionally.
talk about that.
When I'm not listening to Radio Le Mans.
It's a fine thing. Radio Le Mans is a beautiful thing, and I don't begrudge anyone listening to that because they're not listening to Gareth Jones on Speed. Heck no. Heck no. They tend to cover motorsport, we cover nonsense.
Exactly.
Nonsense! Like Brassai.
So how many in your party and where are you staying?
Where are we staying?
There's 7 of us and we're at Maison Blanche.
Maison Blanche.
In the Corbett Racing Hospitality Suite.
Oh really? So you're well catered for?
Yes, Le Mans Saucisson. What else have we got?
Well, red wine and a...
Yeah, Margot for breakfast. And then chicken wine all day long.
You get cheap wine. We bought like a load of cheap wine on the ferry. It's £3 a bottle.
It's part of the experience.
Exactly.
So we have the €20 bottle of Margot for breakfast. And then the rest of the day we drink chicken wine.
Chicken wine.
Yeah, it's got a picture of chicken on it, that's why we call it
That
chicken
reminds me, I
wine.
used to drink beer in Russia and I couldn't read Cyrillic script. We had a cartoon of a lad with a nose, big pointy nose and a spark coming off it. So that was always called Sparky Nose beer. So if we can drink Sparky Nose beer, you can drink chicken wine. That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, well, we've also done nearly a whole tin of snuff that I bought in Berlin 2 weeks ago.
That's not a sentence I've heard for a very long time.
Yeah, it's pretty old school. It's like 18th century politicians snuff.
Yeah. Wiggy.
And it's
Who are you following for the race? Who are you backing for the win?
well, we know who's going to win, don't we?
Well, no, I don't know. You're going to wake up tomorrow morning and find something very different going on.
Correct.
Alonso in a load of tyres. I don't believe it's going to happen though. I'd like to see either Button win or one of the Rebellions.
Well, I'm
win.
Rebellion TVR.
Yeah, I want Rebellion to win it.
He's got TVR as well. He's got
Have you?
Primera.
Yeah, I've
Have
got
you?
Rebellion, but not here.
Right, yeah, that would be way too expensive to have it ferried home on the back of a trailer.
Well, we got to bloody Cherbourg and there were already 2 of them had broken down getting off the ferry.
Oh, it's par for the course.
Yeah.
You must be excited about new TVR then.
He
Yeah.
rubbed it in. Oh yeah, I've got one, but I wouldn't bring it here.
What have you got, an S3 or something?
No, I drive a transit van. But I have got a Renault Clio 172.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. Cost me
Lively.
300 quid to buy, and then it's cost me £1,500 to keep it running.
Yeah, that's a bargain. Even so. Yeah, I'm back in Rebellion for the win.
Yeah, I reckon.
I don't think they'll get it, but I want them to do it. But if one of the Toyotas has to win, I want the number 7, not the number 8 to win.
Right, exactly.
I don't mind Alonso.
Well, you don't know. I mean, all it takes is a technical issue and those 2 or 3 laps.
We were here 2 years ago on the last lap when they just pulled over on the start-finish line. We thought they were showboating.
Yeah.
And then the boats going, incredible,
Yeah.
incredible.
250,000 people gasped at the same time, didn't
I
they?
just thought they were taking
Interesting enough, though, at that point, that's when I had my wallet nicked.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's paying for this year's entry, probably.
I'm sort of half with Ginetta as well, because they're going round.
Yeah, they got the car running with.
Yeah.
I don't know who's paying for it.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
Well, he's bought a sticker, it cost €2, so that would
I
have
bought a sticker and a wristband for
There
€3.
you go. That's paying for them to keep going round.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm so happy to meet you.
all right.
Bob,
It's all
lovely
right.
to meet you, Bob. James,
Nice to meet
thank
you,
you
pal.
for making it, boy. Come and talk to Zog and Stevie and Vince, all part of the extended on-speed family, like you.
We'll have a beer now then, shall we?
Correct. Excellent. Oh, and I turn round, there's another pint of Guinness waiting for me. Thank you, boys. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers, and cheers to you listening at home.
Cheers, Gareth.
And cheers to you, Raf. Enjoyed it?
Happy number 1.
What a wonderful thing.
enjoyed it? Have I enjoyed it?
Are you enjoying it?
Am I enjoying it?
Look at the smile on your face.
come on. Really? How can you not enjoy it? It's incredible. The whole
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
has been amazing.
It is huge, isn't it? It's
Not even halfway. Awesome. Amazing stuff.
how is it different to what you expected?
Well, that was the thing. I didn't really know what to expect. I came in blind, and it's sort of intentionally so. I didn't want to have expectations. I knew there would be certain things, but it's just amazing. I guess if I did have expectations, it's blown them out of the water, put it that way.
The scale of it, I think, is what's impressive.
Absolutely, yeah. I love that wherever you go, whichever bit you're in, every little bit around here is totally different. The bit that we're in now feels so different to where we were before.
Yeah.
Party town now, but we can still hear the cars off in the background. You've always got this sense that there's this amazing thing happening just a few yards away from you, and I love
And
that.
it keeps going on, keeps going on.
When we come back to it, we'll catch up with the story, we'll see where we are.
Yeah.
We'll try and find our bookmark. We'll try and catch up, see what's happened.
Bookmark, I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I like that.
And then we'll carry on with the story.
And what a story it is. It will unfold over the remaining, what have we got, 10:30? Gosh, not even halfway, as Raf said. Raf, by the way, you should know, Raphael Perks, Rafsky on Twitter, he's the man who designed the Gareth Jones on Speed logo and designed my website for me. An integral part of the team. Great to have him here, and great to have you with us as well. And also great to have these guys shouting in a foreign language alongside me. I have no idea what they're saying. Mark,
Yes, Mark, how you doing?
you said Boredar to me. Where are you from then?
I'm from Essex.
The Welsh part of Essex.
The Welsh part of Essex.
And do you know how to say good morning in Welsh?
I go to Wales occasionally, I have Welsh friends, I'm international.
Correct. And if you like driving, Wales is a good place to go to.
Quite right.
What do you drive, Mark?
An Audi S3.
Oh, good choice.
It's alright, yeah.
Did you come down in that for the
I
race?
did, 2 of us down, a tour of about 20 of us came down together.
That's
so
a
we've
big
had
try.
everything from a van to 911 RSR. So it's
Oh,
a real,
nice.
Yeah, real hodgepodge for people.
I was just discussing the 911 RSR with Zog and how Porsche are allowed to do what they do to run that car in the GTE class when they don't manufacture a version of that car with that configuration
Very dodgy.
for the road.
Very dodgy.
But if it's allowed, it's allowed.
Yeah, well, the whole thing's a bit weird. I mean, the whole ballasting and, giving Aston Martin some more turbo boost today. I understand why they want to try and get some level playing field, but it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, it's just a risky, controversial game to play, isn't it? Because they want a race, but you want it to be a genuine race, not everyone throttled. If you've got a better car, you deserve to win, don't you?
Well, I feel the same about Formula One. I'm a massive Formula One fan, but I'm bored with the whole battle at the minute, and nothing seems to work. This has felt a bit purer in the past. I'm not sure it does anymore, so I still love it. And I've really enjoyed the fact it's my first Le Mans, and everything here is so much more open than Formula One.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
I loved it, walking up the track yesterday towards the Dunlop Bridge, and just seeing the elevation, feeling it, spending time in the pits. That's what fans want as well. I love it.
Yeah. To be able to walk up and down the pit without having to pay an extra 200 quid for the privilege.
I've done it as Paddock Club guest at Formula One before. I was very, people took me as a guest, very privileged to do, and it was great, but it was still curated. You had an hour, and they walked you out afterwards. Whereas here, it's just the teams are opening up, say hello, have a look.
I saw some lovely things where some real serious fans were invited into the garage to have their photos taken. That would never happen in Formula One, would it?
And it means so much to people. You see the passion that people are supporting some very small teams, really, but they've got all the clothes, the flags, they want signatures, they know everything. The passion in here is...
That's why we keep coming back. This is my 13th Le Mans. And you have to keep coming back because you can't do everything in 1 year. You have to come back next year and do the stuff you didn't do this year.
Yeah. Well, the guys I'm with have done it for the last 20 years on and off with different people. So it's been great to come here and get accelerated in, by being told these are good places, and and that's been really helpful.
It would be very hard to come on your own. The first time I came with Zog, where's he gone? There. Some, 15 years ago or something. We had turned up, we really didn't know anything, and we fudged it. We still had a great time, but to come with people who are experienced makes a big difference, doesn't it?
But also it really helps, listening to your podcast from last year. You feel you've gone through part of it, you've lived a bit of it, and that's why I wanted to come over and say hello and say thank you for the grins 300 times or whatever it's been now. It's great,
I bow before you as I will actually bow before anyone.
The free podcast.
Anyone who subscribes to the show and gets something out of it is worth a great deal to me.
Oh, thank you. It's brilliant.
The very idea that we can convey in some small part what it's like to be at this event and makes people like you consider coming. I'm an evangelist. Thank you.
You are, and the passion comes out, and that's what I love about the show. I love the arguments. I love pointless arguments discussing a small point that means nothing to most people. That's what it's about.
You've got to talk to Zog then. He's the king of arguments.
I want to say hello to Zog as well. I have to.
You go and do that. I've got to say hello to Dimitri. Go and introduce yourself. Mark, thank you. Dimitri, hello again. Sorry. Now, we met when we did 10 years on speed in Islington in North London.
Indeed, yes.
And you didn't know anything about the podcast or motorsport. How did you end up at that show?
Well, I've been following you for a few years before then, but I knew nothing about Le Mans. And in fact, I think the idea coming from Le Mans came from the show and listening to the live podcast from here. They were kind of giving the atmosphere so well. That's brilliant. I should go there.
Spasiba. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
And there's a strong Russian presence here this year, isn't there? There's lots of Russian money here. You're Russian, aren't you?
I am Russian, yeah.
Whereabouts are you from, though?
Well, I've lived in St. Petersburg for quite a few years. Then I've lived in Latvia, so I was here and there in Eastern Europe.
Good.
Yeah, now moved west.
The more you move, the more interesting you are. That's what I say. You spread yourself around, meet lots of new people, new input, new influences, makes you a better person.
Oh yeah, that's just fantastic. Meeting new people, especially I came here alone. And, I'm camping in Maison Blanche. And basically just probably half an hour after I set up the tent, the guy from the next tent came over and said, oh hi, and then we ended up getting pissed in the town.
Fantastic, Dimitri. Yeah, we're all made of the same stuff here. We all share this passion for not only enjoying the sport, but sharing the enjoyment of the sport. It's a very social thing, isn't it? Here we are at the meetup. Dimitri, have you met Zog? Have you had a conversation with Zog?
Not today.
You met him in Islington?
I've had a conversation with Dog for probably 15 minutes before the live recording back then. Yeah. And then I realized it was Alex. This was probably one of the most embarrassing things I've ever done in my life.
It was you, was it? We've talked about that on the programme.
Yeah,
You've heard us.
That was me.
I had to do a programme with Zog and Alex the other day.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure which one was which. It can happen. It really can. Unbelievable. Dimitri, go and talk to Zog. I've got to talk to these people here. Great to see you here, man.
Great.
Really great, really great. Isn't that wonderful? Just a mere suggestion that anyone has discovered Le Mans, this tremendous race, from listening to this daft podcast that we've been making. It makes it all worthwhile. I've stepped away from the Guinness bar to take the wider view now, so I can hear myself in the headphones and not shout at you. Time check. 10 minutes to 11. So maybe 10 minutes more drinking here, then it's time to put my other headphones on to listen to the commentary and find out what's happened in the big race. Cool. James Dudley, who we met a few minutes ago before I was talking to Dimitri, just came over and told me that you had a Westfield 7.
You had a 1600 cross-flow engine Westfield.
That's the Cortina Mark II engine, isn't it? Cross-flow?
You might know more than me than that, yeah. But it had twin Webbers, 40s, K&N air filter. It had a bit of go to it, but it wasn't sort of... The Pinto one was the one you wanted.
Yeah. The later Mark III Cortina block, that's
Yeah.
right, yeah. Well, we've got a Duratec, which is a cousin of that engine in the Caterham 7. You know, for someone who's not driven a 7, the two of us have, describe the experience for me, James. It's not like other motoring, is it?
No. I was 21 when I bought that car and I had no money, but I got a loan out to buy it. So that was my only car. I was 21 years old, driving to this warehouse I used to work in every day on different shifts. So some days I'd be on mornings, some days afternoons, some weeks I'd be on nights. So it was my everyday car. So in the winter, I was driving it and it was hairy as hell.
I bet it was.
Yeah, because the tyres that I could afford were pretty crap, to be honest.
Yes.
And getting on the M1 at Junction 21 in Leicester, the amount of times I lost the back end. And I had this tiny little Momo steering wheel with a flat bottom.
Yes.
When you lose the back end trying to get it back, that little steering wheel, it wasn't easy.
Did you ever go backwards into a hedge in it?
Do you know what? No, I never did.
Luckily.
Touch wood, I've never had an accident. Touch wood. But all I'd say about it was, in the summer, when the weather was perfect, you take the roof off, you take the doors off, and you low down to the ground, and it sounded good, that engine did. You could hear the Webbers snorting in all the fuel, and it went through some fuel.
Oh yeah.
And a tiny little fuel tank as well, so sort of every other hour I was refilling with fuel.
Have you ever driven another car that puts you more in contact with the road than a 7?
Never.
And where's your 7 now? What happened to it? You sold it?
Yeah, I sold it. I'll tell you what, I bought it, I drove it home from Lichfield to Leicester and it blew up.
Oh no.
On the way home. It cost 600 quid for a rebuild. Anyway, then I looked after it after that. I was a bit more behaved in it. And then I sold it for £1,000 less.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, and then because I got the loan from RBS, when I got my PPI back, I got more back than I borrowed because of the interest.
I'm going to shake your hand. That's a happy ending to that story.
Yeah. And I bought a Renault 19 convertible, Renault 19 16 valve executive one with the nice leather seats. Beautiful car. So
was it reliable?
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. And do you know what? That Westfield was reliable. Well, I'll tell you what happened once. I was driving down the M1 with the roof off and the doors off, and I could feel something on my arm, some specks of something. It was quite warm. I thought, what the hell was that? And over the front wheel, you know, you got the struts.
Suspension.
Yeah, well, that had bent and sort of snapped and was rubbing against the tyre, and I was getting covered in specks of rubber from the tyre.
You can't get more in contact with engineering than that, can you?
No. I said to my mum, I said, I need to buy this new strut. She goes, oh, I'll go and get it. Me and Dad will go and get it for you. So they went to the Westfield factory and bought this for me. Brought it back. And after that, they got a Christmas card from Westfield. Every year. I didn't. They did. I was the one who went through all the hassle of dealing with this thing.
So have you now fallen out with Westfield?
Oh no, because I wish I had it back now. I can afford to run 2 cars now.
You haven't driven one of the new Caterhams then? You haven't had a taste of that?
I'd like to, no.
I can recommend it very highly, James.
Yeah, I imagine you can.
And for someone who's lived with the crossflow engine in a Westfield, you'd love the Caterham with the Duratec. or the Sigma engine, they are deeply, deeply
I
satisfied.
imagine it's slightly frightening.
Yeah, exactly. Slightly frightening.
Well, my name is James Dudley,
Yeah.
and Tiger Sports Car, you've heard of them?
Yes. Oh yes.
The owner's called James Dudley as
Is
well.
he?
Yeah, so I drove my Westfield to see him and see if I could have a go in his, the one with the 2 high booster engines.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, when I got there, he didn't have one in. So.
Sequential
Yeah.
box and everything. Mr. Dudley, there's a Mr. Dudley to see you.
Yeah.
Did that actually happen?
He thought, who's this lunatic turned up here with the same name as me?
And who are all these lunatics and what are they doing in our living room? We are surrounded by people who, like us, are utterly obsessed with cars, love a weekend off and are very glad they came to Le Mans. Am I right, James?
It's brilliant. We drink so much. We have so much fun. The noise is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Everyone's like-minded, just want to hear the engines and just talk about cars.
I'm not sure what's better, the ambience, the racing or the company.
Yeah, well, it's nice to meet you, Gareth. Seen you on the TV before.
Nice to meet you, James.
Yeah, lovely to meet you, pal.
Respect, my friend, respect. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, cheers, pal.
Cheers, by the way.
I've run out.
It's
Your
my
round,
round.
mate.
It's always my round.
It's a very, very, very good approximation. And the point which it's breaking down.
You could probably work out from the soundtrack there that Zog is explaining the grand unified theory of the universe in scientific terms to Raph. Vince has made cups of tea. Stevie's making a second cup of tea. We are back at the Porsche Curves. Everyone sitting down, thrilled by today's spectacle. Unbelievable. I'm just walking away from the tent now. It's a bit quiet at the moment, but the cars are still running at 1:20 in the morning. I always think the end of the first day at Le Mans, you've got to come down, man, from the high. And I just loved seeing Raf's face, and Stevie's face, and Vince's face, and Zog and mine for the start. That was a memorable thing. But you've got to come down from that somehow. So I've crept up to the... and I'm just going to listen to the cars for a few minutes. Now, the fastest cars are lapping at 3:22, something like that. So if I finish this part of the programme with 3.5 minutes of just the pure sound of the world's greatest motor cars going past without saying a word, that would be a lovely thing to hear, wouldn't it? Okay, so here's about 4 minutes. There goes one of the Toyotas. I'm not going to say a word. Good night. Isn't that a lovely sound? And that's the sound that we go to sleep to. Or try and go to sleep to. Some of us sleep better than others. I'm usually very comfortable in terms of sleep at Le Mans, believe me. It's hard to stay awake sometimes. No. Not like Formula One. No. Sleeping with this noise behind you is lovely. And forgive me if I've said this before, but I go to sleep with that noise very happy. If it goes quiet, because all the cars are behind the safety car on the other end of the circuit, that's when I wake up. But it's been a relatively incident-free show, because it is a show so far. The Collis went out around about lap 60. That was unfortunate for them, because if ever they stood a chance of scoring points in LMP2, LMP1, this was their year. And the last thing I heard on the commentary was that the LMP1 field had been decimated. The two rebellions were still running. 1 and 3 there, yeah? And they're running 3 and 4. And there's no other. The S&P's gone out, no other LMP1s. That's it. So, wow. They could have 1, 2 or 3 positions on the podium. I don't know how they'll manage 3. But that's very interesting. I'd missed some of that, thanks to the tweet up and the journey back. But I'm going to get up to date on what's going on with the race, and I wish you as good a sleep when you go to sleep as I'm about to enjoy. Good night.
Gareth Jones on speed!
Here's something I don't think I've ever done before on Gareth Jones on speed, and let's give you the audio from my bed, from my sleeping bag in my tent, which I'm sharing with Raf, this room, and Vinny is just the other side of the centre partition thing. Zog and Stevie are next door in the pocket tent. But as you lie in bed, listen to that beautiful symphony right across the rev range, right across the audio spectrum. There's the bass, the tenors, the sopranos, more bass. Isn't that lovely? Just lovely. And if you ever think that coming to Le Mans is a good idea, and you like the sound of cars and you can sleep through this sort of thing, do come. It's an exquisite experience. Right, night night. (1:05) Sunday afternoon, and the sound of helicopters and cars tells you that the race is still running. Stevie, have you managed to keep up with what's happened while we've been asleep?
Every minute.
Okay, well, tell me, you have 30 seconds, the complete rundown.
Yeah, well then there was the bit that I was asleep.
Oh, you missed that bit.
Yeah.
I did too.
Annoyingly, I hear the Corvettes are no more.
We heard something go past, a bit fruity a minute ago, so
really?
Maybe it's got running again, the one that was remaining, I believe.
So.
Either that, or it could be the Aston, the old Aston in the amateur series, the GTE AM. Sounds a bit fruity, and at a distance is almost a Corvette.
Well, maybe it's still running.
We'll find out.
What do we hear? Is I heard Alonso being interviewed.
Oh, and
his comment was, the only thing that he doesn't like about this race is the fact that it isn't run every 2 weeks.
Do you know what? We all feel the same, don't we? We'd be camping next week if we could.
Totally.
Let me
with
see.
Alonso, he'd be here.
Yeah, he'd be hanging out with us because he likes Vince's cooked breakfasts. I'm going to ask Zog what's going on. Z, come out of headphone mode. Bonjour, monsieur. Can you give me a rough status update from what you know?
Well, the two Toyotas are running strongly and reliably at the front, as far as we can tell.
The number 8 leading the number 7.
Yep. The SMP car that was scrapping with Rebellion for third spot is now out, and we have the two Rebellions in third and fourth overall, and in LMP1. LMP2, number 26 car is leading. Number 32 car, which is my pick.
Is that Montoya's car?
That's Montoya's car.
Yeah, me
United
too.
Autosports, Ligier, is fourth.
Cool.
Last time I checked.
Good.
And in GTE Pro, it's Porsche, Ford having made something of a recovery.
They had a bit of a dip. They were running
good.
slowly,
it was
weren't they?
very disappointing to see them struggling so much. With such a strong 4-car entry. When their lead car was back in 7th or 8th, that was quite a disappointing show. But
they're still in the fight.
They're still in the fight. Yeah, it's going to take something to happen to the Porsches really for Ford to be in with a real chance. But still a couple of hours to go.
Yeah,
that's plenty of time.
Stuff can happen.
Yeah,
tired, mistakes, damage, worn out components. Yeah, and that's just me.
In the races, just sort of coming back a little. It's been sort of coming back to Ford a little bit. Maybe that momentum will continue. I don't think so, but we'll see.
Well, thank you, Z. Let's continue our momentum up to the circuit, and we'll take a place.
Find a grandstand.
Yeah, here we go.
Place beans.
We said there was still lots to go on. Well, we're sitting on the Petit train, waiting to leave from our campsite and monitoring the radio, and we just heard that the number 7 Toyota was spotted going slowly with Kamui Kobayashi at the wheel. Do we know they're running on their internal combustion engine, but the hybrid system's not working? It's creeping back to the pit. This could mean 2 Rebellions on the podium. And let's see. We're holding our breath here. We've been listening to Radio Le Mans and the latest coverage. They were dipping into the pit-to-car radio, and there was a message going to Kobayashi to tell him that they failed to get fuel in the car at the last stop. And the whole reason for running slow was to get him back to the garage, because he wouldn't have done with the amount of fuel left in the tank. But I believe that's all under control now. I'm going to listen. Dramatic stuff, you see, it's not over till it's over.
Gareth Jones on speed!
Just some sound on the start finish straight.
Getting close.
Vince just said to me it's getting close. He's listening to Radio Le Mans. We are 30 minutes away from the end of the big race. This is the last hourly update. Number 8 and number 7 are running, first and second. Kazuki Nakajima leading in the number 8 car. I think I heard that the car that Jensen Button was helping steer, the number 11 SMP Racing, has dropped down. The leading number 3, Thomas Laurent, Matthias Besch, Gustavo Menezes car. Not my Rebellion, but nevertheless a Rebellion. And the other Rebellion is 4th. So if one of the Toyotas still fails in the next half hour, as one of the Toyotas comes into the pit, I'm watching it now. It's just driven in, I can see it on the screen. Stops precisely in the box. No driver change. Kazuki Nakajima gets fuel. A washed window. No tyre change. And as this his last time to stop, if Toyota do win this, and it looks very much like they're going to, yes, they deserve it. Fair play to Rebellion. This is what I asked of them, and that made it difficult for Toyota to win. They pushed them there, the only other LMP1 team running. But this does beg the question, what happened in LMP1? How did we get to a situation where the cars competing with the manufacturer can only hope for podium? Great shame that we lost Porsche and Audi and of course Nissan. I'm looking forward towards the new rules, which will relaunch this series, and that's another good reason to come. Okay, I'm going to settle down for the last half hour. Battery failure, so I wasn't able to keep up with the progress of the race using the app, and I've finally also located my spotter's guide, which was in a bag in the tent, not with me for the race. I'm just referencing the cars that I showed, and I'm very pleased to see that the number 71 AF Cogs Ferrari 498 is still running with David de Rigon, Sam Bird and Miguel Molina driving. I don't know where they are in their class, but at least they're still running. Also in the GT class, I was watching Jan Magnussen in the Corvette, the number 63 car. I haven't seen that running. And Gian-Maria Bruni in the number 91 Porsche GT team. I don't know if they're still running either in the Pro category. As far as the amateurs, Fisichella, Francesco Castellacci, let me say that right, and Thomas Floor, the number 54 car, I was following them. And Matthias Lauda, Paul Della Lama and Pedro Lamy. Lana, Lamy and Lauda, 3 L's. The number 98 car, Aston Martin Vantage GT Am. I don't know if they're still running, but I have 21 minutes left of this race to find out. I say this every year. You get to the end of the race, 24 hours, you think, oh, I was just getting into that. Wish you had a 48-hour race. I've just seen something at Le Mans I've never seen before. And you know that they have a pit lane camera which is on a couple of cables that rockets up and down the pit lane trying to keep pace with the cars as they accelerate and leave. Well, each of the ends of that cable is mounted on a truss, a tower. That must be 80 feet tall, 60 feet tall maybe. And a bloke climbed up that tower wearing a helmet and a harness, and he's doing some maintenance either to the camera or to the cable that the camera's mounted on. That's quite a thing to see, let me tell you. There's a lot of heroics on the track, but That man who's standing very casually on a little jib sticking out, a triangular jib from a huge tower that is, it's held down by cables under tension, but even so he's going to have a lot of faith in technology and engineering to do what he's doing. And when he climbed up, a number of people around me said, "Whoa, you couldn't pay me enough to do that." And as Vince correctly observed, I bet he wasn't up till 3 o'clock in the morning drinking beer like we were. The camera maintenance engineer is still on the tower, and they very gingerly rode the camera up to the position he's standing at, and he's tweaking something, checking the bearings.
That's where he stashed it.
A beer bag, is that what that is? A beer bag. There's a bag hanging from.
It was Heineken.
Yeah. I hope he had some ice in there as well.
Yeah, I'm not entirely certain what he's doing, but what a brave man. And you don't think about that. You know, the support services require some heroism as well. Amazing. He's checking the wheels that the camera runs on, making sure that they're going to run to the end of the race, which is 15 minutes away. "10 minutes to go." And there's an enormous sense of quiet at the track. The TV keeps showing pictures of the Toyota garage. Lots of very serious but happy faces, including Alonso. They keep focusing on Alonso, but also Mike Conway and the other drivers. It's a team game. And also the G-Drive garage. G-Drive are leading LMP2, and the Corvette and the Pink Pig sharing the same space of track. Expectant faces. Can Toyota finally win Le Mans? The two Toyotas are actually driving around in convoy at the moment, in a sort of procession of two cars, because they have such an advantage over the number 3 Rebellion, which is running third, that they can do that. So when they cross the line, we'll see two Toyotas. That's only fair, because they've kept their cars going like clockwork, it appears, the whole race. At last, a Japanese manufacturer wins Le Mans that isn't Mazda. By my watch, we have 5.5 minutes left to run. 5 minutes 30. You can see it on the timing on the screen in front of me. The Pink Pig, we're on board with that at the moment. And in a year that Porsche are celebrating 70 years, it's fitting that they win with a car in one of their classic liveries. La 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 la. There goes the Team Netherlands car. It's out the 66 Ford 99 911. And the 67 Ford goes by. I'm trying to listen to what John Heindorf is saying. I'm wearing headphones over my inner ear headphones so I can monitor what I'm recording and hear what's going on. There's a podium position up the track we're talking about. In which class? GT Am? Are we going to get a last lap? Oh, I see what's going on. It looks like the two Toyotas are going to finish in such a position before the Graf car has managed to complete the lap at one position ahead of where it is. You see what I mean by that? The race is still on, in other words. Dicing for position after 23 hours and 3.5 minutes. On the screens, again, shots of the Toyota garage. They must be holding their breath. They've been this close before. They've been closer. But this time, they've got to get the car across the line. Doesn't seem to be technical issues. So it's likely that they can do it. Another Corvette has just stopped. Wow. One of the Corvettes has stopped. For a splash and dash. And is that what the BMWs have stopped? The crowd are standing up. As the Toyotas go through in their last lap, that's it. The final lap, they're going to I'm going to just do this in real time. Okay, no back of my legs is now standing up. That sense of occasion as we reach the final moment, not just of the Le Mans 24 Hours of 2018, but Toyota's 30-year attempt to win this race. In the meantime, Loic Duval dicing in the lower categories. Kazuki Nakajima's looking in his mirror, making sure that the two Toyotas are line astern for the showboat end. They go through the first of the two chicanes. The lights on. Corvette, which they'll pass easily.
On y croit encore, mais les souris restent figés dans le stand Toyota.
There goes the team Netherlands car. Trying to listen to the commentary. The French seem to own LMP2 at the moment, which is kind of healthy. That's about right, isn't it? Ford aren't going to get the GT Pro category. Porsche have been rocket quick. Zog's happy, there's a Porsche file. His hands together alongside me. Stevie's poised with his camera. We're all standing up. Don't want to miss anything. They cut to the garage and Bramey sort of hyperventilating. I don't blame him. What we're seeing is history here. A new manufacturer wins Le Mans for the first time since I've been coming. It's been Audi, Bentley, Porsche and Peugeot. But you can add to that list of Le Mans winners the name Toyota. You might argue that it was easier for them this year than it has been, but even so, they stayed with it and they deserve the win. They didn't break, they didn't mess it up. The Rebellions made it hard for them as they come through the Ford chicane past the Ford Experience Centre, the number 7 and the number 8 Toyotas on its final lap. The cars are all slowing down as through come the two Toyotas. Yes, the number 8 car, Buemi, Alonso, and the proud Japanese driver who finally gets justice and crosses the line. Kazuki Nakajima drives the TS050 across the line. Finally, Toyota win Le Mans to the warm applause of 250,000 people. Finally, the G-Drive car crosses the line, winning LMP2. There they go, the two Toyotas, the number 8 lead, the number 7 car, and the rest of the field. Are they going to do a parade lap? Lots of people love the Corvettes. Well done to BMW as well, who came with a lightning M8. The scrum around Alonso has started. I can see jumping in the pit lane, dancing. Every single member of the teams are on the pit wall applauding their cars as they come past. Applauding all the cars as they come past. Glorious. Not the closest of years, but a historical year in the history of the grand tradition of Le Mans. A new manufacturer. Here comes the Dempsey Proton Porsche, winner in GT Am. Patrick Dempsey taking the cheers of the crowd, not as a driver but as a team owner. A win. I love it when the Hollywood actors take on Le Mans as part of their culture. It's happened before and it's great that it's still happening. We got Jackie Chan and Patrick Dempsey, of course. Oh, great. As the Team Netherlands car crossed the pit exit, a huge, what do we call that? A scatter cloud of orange ticker tape from the Dutch fans fills the air. How glorious. There goes to Jackie Chan, number 37 car, 66 Ford. And it's great as those cars drove through the scattering of Dutch ticker tape, it created a plume behind it showing you the aero pack exiting the diffuser. Beautiful. Absolutely glorious. Number 99, iridescent green 911 RSR. 32 United Autosports car and the final Ford running. Dragon Speed car. I think that's, no, it's not the Dragon Speed car, forgive me, it's one of the 911s. Oops. And that's it. Are there any cars still running? There's still applause. Yes. The 71 AF Corks 488. Is that the final runner? No. The number 54 VistaJet sponsored 488 gets a warm applause. The Pink Pig being ripped back at Le Mans is great. As it crosses the line, the winner in GT Pro. Well done, Porsche. Zog smiling. We're all smiling. They love that car as it passes in front of me. Isn't that funny? That crazy, memorable paint scheme from the history and the 95 new Vantage, still running at the end. Not the quickest car, but still running. Nakajima's opening up the door of his car as he drives the parade lap very slowly. Wow. Zog, happy? Are you happy?
Yes, yeah. Were you listening to that driver interview just now?
No.
Oh, no. He expressed his happiness with a slightly more Anglo-Saxon phrase than one traditionally uses in media interviews.
Oh dear. Well, it's an exciting moment.
He was caught out by the microphone. Yeah, no, but fantastic. It's really very emotional seeing Toyota bring those cars home, get the win, and for Nakajima to take the checkered flag.
Yeah, not Alonso in the car.
Was, after
beautiful.
that cruel blow 2 years ago. And the Pink Pig taking the win in GT Pro, and it's great seeing the Dempsey Proton winning in AM. So yeah, I'm very happy with that.
You're very happy.
Just a shame that Montoya wasn't able to bring my favourite
LMP2
my pick
car.
LMP2 home, but hey, you can't have everything.
You can't, no. Congratulations, Zog, you're a winner. And finally, Toyota winners.
As a Canadian would say,
Correct. We love the international language of motorsport. Effing A. Yep. That much is certain. Right, I'm going to rest my voice for a moment. Unbelievable. Effing A.
Gareth Jones on speed.
The celebrations at the end of the 24 hours continue as all three drivers of the number 8 car on the car. Buemi and Alonso riding on the outside of the cabin. Nakajima driving. They turn round and enter the pit lane from the exit end, as they do at Le Mans at the end of the race. The car doesn't make it in one turn, but Buemi and Alonso help to push it back. Fair play. Then the G drive, the winner in LMP2, with no one sitting on his cap, goes wide and then turns in, so he makes the corner the whole way. As the victors, le victoire, as the French say, the victors drive down the pit lane to the huge applause. There goes Alonso right in front of me now. One box ticked closer to his personal goal of the Triple Crown of motorsport. Indy, Le Mans and Monaco. He's got 2 of those. He's a World Formula 1 champion twice over. That'll be a Corvette, encouraged by my Canadian friend behind me. And the next thing, of course, as soon as all the cars are through, is the track invasion. Wish us luck. That's it for the moment, but not the end of our coverage, because in the next programme we return to our Porsche Curves campsite to discuss the race we've just enjoyed. We look back at 3 great races in the history of the 24 Hours of Le Mans and give our final thoughts on the 3 wonderful cars we drove to Le Save in. All that in episode 343 of Gareth Jones on Speed, available Thursday, the 5th of July. See you there.
To send us an email, see pictures, get song lyrics, join our Facebook fan site, follow us on Twitter, or to find out about sponsorship opportunities, go to garethjones.tv. Gareth Jones on Speed is made in London by Whiz Bang.
Gareth Jones on Speed! Speed! Speed!